Instead, they want to try to.
No, this is my favorite song.
The only reason.
Welcome, folks. It's the one and only Rogue Coin with the one and only notorious one, V the Grill Economist, coming to you live with my main dudes, Crypto Z, Crypto Cowboy, and the man simply known as Frank. And we're giving you all the news, all the views, and all the trading information important to you. Check us out on the Watch Us Trade Room, where you can find us at the cryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io. The links are in the description box. And folks, if you haven't done so already, there's a link there that shows you the trade results of pretty much every single trade that these guys have done within the Crypto School itself, within the Watch Us Trade Room. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. In blood markets, these guys, not bear markets. Bear markets are for babies. Blood markets are for men. Blood markets are for warriors. They're for those who are willing to get their feet dirty. This is what separates the rock stars from the groupies, folks. And in the blood market of the crypto bloodbath of late, these guys have been killing it, returning profits in the hundreds of percents, verified and documented. So listen, here's the deal. If you haven't done it and you really want to get entertained, you really want to learn how to maximize as much entertainment going into your wallet as possible, check out the Watch Us Trade Room. Join it. It's $300 a month. And you might say to yourself, damn, $300 a month? Every single person that has joined, the consensus is, wow, it's only $300?
Yeah.
That's so cheap. Why is it so cheap? Because most people, folks, pay for their membership within a day or two. Within a few days. We've had people pay for an entire year within just a few days of trading. That is the beautiful thing about this. Now you might say to yourself, how do I pay for this? Well, how do I do it? Well, the word around town is if you simply have a Coinbase account, as long as you keep it under 20 grand, 25 grand for the year, there's no reporting. There's no reporting on your entertainment. None whatsoever. Okay? So this way you can go ahead and be entertained. And we are working on a payment solution for you guys where you can pay us directly with Bitcoin. So it's very difficult to do on a subscriber type level, paying in BTC, month after month, week after week. So we're developing that. So please bear with us. But in the meantime, don't sit there and wait. There's money to be made. Free money, helicopter Ben Bernanke style money is going to be raining down on you with all kinds of entertainment that's going on. And with that being said, gentlemen,
dude,
what's going on?
I got a message for you guys from someone in the room. I won't name him, but I spent the morning with it's not Jeff Sessions. I spent the morning with a guy who's in our room. Awesome guy. He was in my area, and he
this is the trained killer who knows 36 ways to kill a man in every single one of them works.
Seriously, like I felt the wrath. He was demonstrating things, and he would like grab my head and be like, "Oh crap," you know. So, and he was giving me free training this morning. He wanted, he said, I'll be around. I'll give you some training. It was, first of all, unbelievable.
We'll just call him Mr. K.
Yeah, Mr. K gave me, oh my goodness, dude. I just couldn't even get over it. Within like 10 minutes, I knew it was going to be the best thing ever.
Frank,
he sent a message to you guys. He said, please tell V, tell Z, tell Cowboy, just how amazing the room is. He said it changed his life. Like, this is what he does now. He just trades. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
We've actually had a few people that quit their jobs and all they do is trade with Z and Cowboy.
Do we have a veterinarian who quit his job? A freaking doctor.
Yeah, and it wasn't like here's the thing. He had a similar experience to me. He had tried other kinds of things. He'd been in other rooms and all kinds of stuff, and it was always disappointing or even worse, right? So this isn't his first rodeo. It's not his first go around in the trading world, whether it's cryptos or otherwise.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he wanted me to tell you guys. He was like, please tell them. Like, he was just so appreciative. I'm sitting there and he's doing this stuff that I've been wanting to do for years. I'm like, I can't thank you enough. And his attitude was like, are you kidding me? You guys provide this amazing service. He was just happy to do something for us.
That's awesome.
For me. Suck it.
Yeah, I couldn't make it this morning. I overbooked something and I realized I couldn't make it, and I was like, oh crap, I was supposed to be somewhere else. I didn't realize it was one of those scheduling flubs on my part.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what happened. I screwed up. But the cool news is, on my way to my appointment, Air Force One flew over me.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. I pulled over on the side of the road and I was watching. Me and the better half was watching.
So that was your video that you sent us?
That was my video, man. That was at Stewart Air Force Base.
Dude, the weirdest thing was I was in your town and not with you, which is weird because that's where
usually we're somewhere eating, pounding our faces.
Usually if I'm in town, I'm usually with you.
Yeah.
So I'm in town, your town, with Mr. K, our friend we were just talking about. And you send that video, and I'm like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Is that now?" You're like, "Yeah, right now. It just happened." Dude, it's like, crazy. And it's like, dude, like, for people who don't understand, you don't live in some big metropolitan area.
No, we moved out of that area a long time ago.
We moved out a while ago, so it's like the chances of Trump flying into town is just bizarre. It's like, why is he even here? It's just crazy.
Yeah, I flew over
for the Mother's Day for veterans. And service members, the mothers and spouses, meeting with mothers and spouses of service members.
Cool.
Amazing. It was amazing. I spotted that thing coming out of my house. It was over the Hudson River, off in a distance, and I'm like, that's a 747. Usually 747s don't fly up where I am.
Interesting.
And they don't fly that low. And I said, because the 747 it's personally my favorite airliner. I love the 747. I love its classic looks. It's an icon. It's an American icon. And I'm looking at the 747, and all of a sudden when it banked and turned, I saw the blue part of its fuselage, its frontal fuselage. I saw the blue markings.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap, that's Air Force One.
Yeah.
And my better Mrs. Gorilla's like, no way, that can't be. And sure as heck, it was.
Wow,
we chasing it down. We chased it down. We were following it in my car. I'm gunning it, and we're trying to chase it down because we knew it was heading towards the Air Force Base close by. We couldn't find it. We're like, yo, where is it? So we did a U-turn at a car dealership.
It's a good thing you have a jet car.
I do.
Your car is a rocket.
So I'm doing this U-turn at the dealership. All of a sudden, we're like, where's Air Force One? Where's Air Force One? And all of a sudden, right over our heads.
That's incredible.
It was nuts.
It
was nuts. And then it turned around one more time. And that's when it came in, that's when I busted out the video and took the video of it. It's crazy.
Amazing.
Wow. Amazing. So cool. Amazing day, man. Amazing things in the markets. Where do you guys want to start?
I've got I do have a BTC right here up on the board. I've got Bitcoin on the short. So, Crypto Z and I've been just kind of watching it last couple of days. We saw a rejection right off of 10,000. So I know that we've excuse me, we talked a lot on the show. I know Dex has mentioned the same thing. We feel like the big boys are going to want to range bind it below 10K for a while. This is entirely possible. We talked about this where if they can predict it and control it, it's going to fit better into the big scheme. And I think that the big boys and the regulators and everybody else, their job is to kind of keep stability in the markets, and with for better for worse, and with cryptos being such a disruptor, the only way to do that is to try to tame it. Now, I don't think it's all a bad thing. I prefer they just let it be what it is without doing anything about it. But wish in one hand, and what do you do, B? Yeah,
you can wish in one hand, you can crap in the other, and see which piles up faster.
There you go. So we play the game that is available to be played. And if, in fact, they are range binding it, if they just keep it bouncing around under 10,000, then Crypto Z and I can just continue to just kill it. And in this particular case, we did see, I think I called it more than a week ago, that it was going to bounce right there. I called like 9,700 to 10,000, and sure enough, it bumped right up in there. It's gone back down. Z actually called it to retrace to 8,800, and it really got very close to that. I saw 8,800 as maybe a bounce point on the way down to like the low sevens, the 7,200 area, and that remains to be seen. But if you look at the screen right now, you can see where Z pretty much called it really close. It's around 89, 9,000, but just pretty much Z called the bounce, and that's where it did bounce. And then, we have yet to break a 9,400 resistance. If it breaks that, which I think it will, I think it'll bounce off the 97. I don't think it's going to go back up to 10. I think we're going to see, let me back out to a longer chart. Give me 1 second. This is the chart I've been drawing for weeks. I think even months. And we've been showing it on the show. And so far, it's continued to follow. This symmetrical triangle that I've drawn, this is that 10K bounce right at the top. And I think where that blue box right here is, that is where I've been predicting, say, a good entry point. You can see those arrows. There are more than one. Those are my old arrows. So they didn't quite go time-wise how I planned. So if we can get this to kind of bounce right off of here, go down here, eventually this could play to a rise. And a rise above 10K. Now, of course, will they let it go above 10K? Is Mt. Gox going to fire up the Bitcoin dumping machine? Keep it down. If they do, I think it's not the end of the world. And like I said, if they were going to kill it, I think they would have done it by now. It wouldn't be that hard if you want to print unlimited money from the Fed with the giant credit card that the bankers have, and just dump Bitcoin on the market. Just buy it up real slow, push it up a little bit, play some games, accumulate, and then hit it at supports like they did before. So I think if they wanted to kill it, they'd have done it by now. And I think if we get range bound, we'll just continue to play the alt game, and Z and I will retire at, Z is going to retire before 30 and I'll retire before 40.
Wait a minute. So you're not going to wait until Bitcoin is above 11,700 to come make calls on it, right?
No. I used to do that. I actually I have a secret identity. And
is that Billy Bob? Would Billy Bob do that, or is Billy Bob there with you?
Let me see here. Hold on. I hear some tin banging around. So, y'all told me come in the room. Y'all don't respect a woo-woo. I don't want to talk to y'all. Well, look, Billy Bob. I mean, give us something. Give us something. I ain't giving you shit. Not until it get above $11,700. I ain't giving you nothing, because then I can't be proven that I'm right. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna grind up some frogs and smoke them.
This show needs
man.
It needs video cameras and Muppets. We need a Billy Bob Muppet. Like I see it already.
This whole thing about Muppets. I'm like, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, we'll get a Muppet. You can keep your identity secret there.
I always wanted to be a Muppet.
Didn't we get a complaint?
Muppet, you're going to kill somebody.
You guys are making fun of Southerners. Didn't somebody know that?
Who was it? It was a friendly complaint. They were joking. I forget who it was.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a joke. It was one of our buddies who works with us.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to tell them, like, hey, you know what? If you don't like that, then come out to California. Especially in Berkeley, they got these special rooms where you can play with Play-Doh, and if you got a problem, if my mean words hurt you. But yeah, I mean, it's I think that Bitcoin's going to be a great market to play in. And Z and I are going to be here, whether it's 11,700, and we're not going to be really using chicken bones. We use actual TA.
It's a great point.
And then that's, and it's so funny because
I like putting my future into a man who is able to call things by throwing chicken bones on the floor. It gives me such confidence. It falls it falls perfectly in line with the you can crap in one hand and hope in the other and see which piles up faster.
Okay. Have you guys seen the movie Willow?
Yeah.
Willow.
Yeah, that's it. Like, okay, so you guys remember like the wizard, and he goes, "We must consult the bones," and like he throws them on the floor, and like they're all, and he looks up, he goes, "And the bones tell me nothing." That's like every time I hear the bones, the chicken bones, that's what I think of.
We've only been doing this in a bear market, and it's like I just keep thinking, oh my goodness, this is such a blessing having your insights in a bear market. And it's like every once in a while it hits me, what is going to happen in the bull market if this is what you guys are doing? Because it's like we're already considering, you know, burning you at the stake for witchcraft. What's it going to be like? What's it going to be like when we have some upward moving volatility? I mean, I'm salivating over it.
What's going to be like is that we're not going to sleep, you know?
Yeah, he's just going to die in the first.
It's going to die. I mean, this is what's really going to happen. You're going to find me one day.
I do too. I worry about him. I want to like send nurses to like watch over him.
Like a naughty nurse?
No, cowboy, not a naughty nurse.
That's right.
No, like the little alien from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just go and put her hands on him, make him fall asleep. Like someone like Mantis,
yeah, that's what he needs. He needs Mantis in his life.
He needs Mantis to just be like, Z. They'll be back in you have your trailing stop loss. Go to sleep.
which by the way, guys, Roman's I think that's his name is yes. So Cowboy is going to be the guinea pig for this new platform that we are going to be launching next week. And
this week has turned into next week, but we're getting closer, folks.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure that everything is fully on. So Cowboy is going to be the guinea pig, guys. He is doing it. So yeah, stand by.
Filling out the KYC forms as we speak.
Yeah, and when we say
the KY jelly.
Yeah, the KY jelly.
I'm filling out the KFC forms. Celebrate.
When we say
as
like,
the resident chubby guy of the group.
When we say privacy, guys, like with the KYC, just know that the KYC is just it's something between you and the essentially the vaulting company or the
it does. We're not selling out your data to nobody. We're not giving it more.
No.
We're not giving it to any sort of jurisdictional authority anywhere in the world. It's just to show that you're not a money laundering terrorist financier.
Which means Cowboys.
And we need to verify because if you ever want to take delivery of your gold, we need to know where the hell to send it.
Yep.
Plus, when you're done filling it out, they tell you what the 11 herbs and spices are.
They do.
Get it? The KYC.
I got it. KFC. KYC? KFC. Actually, you know, and about the KFC, geez, about the KYC, it does actually, people don't like putting their information in. And I would love to anonymously like send a bunch of Bitcoin somewhere and get thousands of dollars without filling out any forms. No, I would not want to do that.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
So I'm actually a little bit comfortable because there's KYC, because I actually understand that these people are legit. They do have to make sure that we're not, funding terrorists. I mean, look, here at the Rogue Money, we're not really cool with terrorists. We don't want to fund them either. So we're working within very professional circumstance. It just happens to be that this is how the elites move their money around. And so we're able to take advantage of that instrument, and that involves very professional international people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, we can probably talk more about that.
Yeah, we're not in the same. This is just in a different vein because we're dealing with Bitcoin to gold, and I know we've talked about this before. Our first stop is going to be Bitcoin to gold, and then you can go from gold to delivered gold. You can go to vaulted gold. You can go to other precious metals. Or you can go to liquidating to a wire transfer.
Hey, can I sell my BitConnect for chicken bones?
No, we do not accept BitConnect or chicken bones.
Oh, damn it! God damn it!
But we do work in LBM, and this is the thing that and I'm sure V will blow this up for people in explaining it. But we're dealing with LBMA certified gold. That's the secret sauce here. That's what's unique. That's what's special. That's why we're doing things that other people are not able to do. And so this is really going to be awesome for people.
Exactly. Because here's the thing: if you try to take gold, right? Like if you take any gold, you can't take a gold and go to an LBMA certified vault and be like, "Hi, I got this 1 ounce American Eagle over at Jimmy John's Coin and Carry, and I want to have it vaulted." And they will say, "You can vault it, but we can't provide liquidity for it." And you might say to yourself, why can't you provide liquidity? It's gold. First of all, we don't know where you got it from. We don't know if it is gold. And because there's no LBMA serial numbers on it, we don't know what the actual assaying is. Because the refineries that are involved are constantly audited third party. They're constantly paranoid. And it's a tight network where they're competing against each other to make the purest gold in the world, they can't scrimp up with the slightest error. How good is LBMA refineries? Well, it's so damn good. That's where China gets their gold from. Period.
Yeah.
Period. End of discussion. Punto final. There's nothing else to discuss.
And listen, you don't want to get caught up. Like we touched on this before. People get caught up. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Listen, there's you can absolutely have something that you're holding. Have some eagles at home. You know, gold and silver. Of course, we're all for that. We're silver bugs and gold bugs at heart as well. But there are other instruments for creating liquidity, for protecting yourself, and this is a wonderful way to do it. So sure, have your stuff that you get delivered and keep it. But this is a very valuable way to do this, and there's not a safer way to do it in the world.
I had a client.
It's not a joke.
I had a client in Texas one time, and had her silver vaulted at the Delaware Depository, which is in my opinion, very, very shady entity involved in all sorts of crooked stuff with the COMEX. And to keep a long story short, she had 16,000 ounces of silver vaulted at the Delaware Depository. 16,000 ounces. Dude, you're talking about like 1,800 pounds of silver. Okay? Like the whole entire thing is like, how do you move it? And number two, if you got that much silver, you're talking about, hundreds of thousands of dollars of silver right there.
Yeah.
Which coin store are you going to go take it to liquidate it? There goes the whole entire, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. There is a way where you can hold it. It's yours. It's in a segregated, allocated account. It's insured and bonded against all loss and theft. Nuclear strikes, tsunamis, natural disasters, you name it. Full liquidity. That's the real power of gold. Because it's the most defensible commodity that has the most liquidity in the entire planet. It's the most liquid commodity on the planet. So what we've done is taken a crypto, dissolving that crypto into the most defended liquid commodity on planet Earth, the money of kings. And once it's in that commodity, we can go directly to silver. We can go directly to platinum, palladium. Hell, you want investment-grade diamonds, we can get you that. I don't recommend it, but it's there. If you want to go to 24 currencies, we can get you to 24 different currencies shot directly into your bank account anywhere in the world within 24 hours. That's amazing. And the whole entire process of going from crypto to gold to liquid fiat, 48 to 72 hours, like 3 days tops. It's amazing. It's simply amazing. Awesome. There's nobody else that provides it, and it's completely safe. It's completely secure. It's the utmost privacy. Okay, and you have the liquidity.
Hey, real fast, V on that, and this is a question that we've been getting. Can they? Let's just say that they buy the gold and they're vaulting gold, and what if they want to go back into Bitcoin? Can that be done?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. So basically, this can essentially you can vault your gold, or if you want to take fiat, you can take fiat. You can have metals delivered to your doorstep. So if you really do feel that you don't hold it, you don't own it, just have it delivered. So this is a way that you can actually use cryptos to buy metals outside of a taxable event. And because if you buy metals with silver, technically you're supposed to report that.
Consult your what you call it, your accountant. But yeah, I mean that's the deal though.
Yeah, again, this is not tax advice, but this is just my opinion, and my opinion is based on some information we got. So I think accountants might say that it's up to you to report that. Now, if you're doing it here in the States in this jurisdiction, my understanding is, and again, consult your accountant, but that's under over $10,000, they'll report it, and there are some caveats to that. And, now, this is a different story altogether, though. This is what the elites do. It's above taxable jurisdiction from what, and V can elaborate on that. But again, this is one thing that the guys want to know is, once the LBMA gold is being vaulted, if they want to go back into Bitcoin using this platform, that's one of the big questions.
Back to Bitcoin.
Back to Bitcoin.
Yeah, Is that something we could do, V? I don't know if we talked about that.
I got a service that can do that. That's not a problem.
Oh, so there you go.
Yep. Not a problem.
But yeah, you can have your metal delivered if you really want to hold it. And it's a great way to privately buy it. This is the utmost of privacy. The elites, one of the things the elites really have down is privacy. So if I wanted to do something that had privacy, I would go where the rich people who want to be private go. And that's what this is. So you can have that privately done, privately delivered. Yeah. You can privately hold it. You know, if I was ordering a bunch of metal here in the States from a company here in the States, and I don't know what their privacy rules are, you know, I mean, I get some mail saying, oh, you have this much gold, and who knows about that? Who's going to come to my house? I don't know. So this is actually rather a very private situation to protect that if you want to hold it in the safe in your house. It's
funny. I was talking to Mr. X about one of the exchanges. I think we were talking about Gemini, which is what Gemini does. But we were talking about how, you know, they're obligated to report after you have a certain amount in the account or something like that. And X just got all like riled. He's like, I asked him a question for somebody, and he was like, he got all riled up, and he was like, well, they deserve to be reported on it. That's stupid, right? his whole thought was like, why would you expose yourself to that, right? Why would you go through that? And, you know, we all have had many conversations with people where we're trying to like calm them down. Like, you know, people are afraid to use Coinbase. They're afraid to use Gemini. You know, I moved a few $1,000 through Gemini last week. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not that, but yeah, it's wonderful to have a way that is private. And that's what Mr. X is all about. The guy just loves privacy, protects privacy very hard. And, you know, this is a much more private way to get out of cryptos. So it's going to be amazing. I'm very excited. And I know a lot of our members are excited. A lot of the people in the school and in the trade room.
I mean, once this thing launches, if you really want to put your money where your mouth is, you're really all about that freedom and rah-rah that most people talk about, you're going to take advantage of this. It's the bottom line. I mean, why wouldn't you? You know, why wouldn't you? Because and everything is documented along the way. It's a completely open process. And it's dealing with a major multi-billion-dollar, you know, player in the global stage. So it's super uber legitimate. It's awesome. Like, why wouldn't you? This is going to be crazy, man. And the amount of people that are going to be lining up, oh my God, it's going to be fever pitch.
I know. I'm so excited. And it's funny because, you know, whenever this is the history, whenever we start working on something, V starts talking about it and I start getting emails and phone calls about it.
Yep.
So, you know, he's laughing because he knows he's done this to me about 1 million times.
So many times.
So I'm like, everybody's asking whenever I'm on with a client or, you know, I get DMs about it and stuff like that, emails. And I keep explaining to people what we're doing, and I'm getting like so excited explaining it to them. You know, just I think probably the thing that gets me most excited, because this is part of our sort of history, is giving people access to some of the protections and tools that the elites use that are previously just not available to us regular old folks. You know, like with our smart banking stuff that we do at Remain Calm, for example. It's a simplified, inexpensive version of what elites use to protect their bank accounts from garnishment and lawsuits and stuff like that, right? Well, this is really similar to that. I mean, we're using the identical thing that they would use, except we're throwing Bitcoin into the mix heavy. We're also making it available for transactions as low as $5,000. That's unheard of, to be able to open a vaulting account or an LBMA certified gold transaction at those levels. It's crazy.
Huge.
Yeah. Very exciting.
So there you go. I mean, what a freedom. We're all part of the liberty movement. This is what we do. It's just another way of making that available to everybody. Yeah. And this is the market providing a solution to kind of avoid oppression. And I know that sounds like kind of what's the word? SJW. Oh, I'm oppressed. Everybody's oppressed these days.
No, it's a different kind of oppression.
And this is a different kind of oppression.
Oppression with tyranny.
Yeah.
You know, this is a real oppression. This is, we're going to take half your money and spend it on a bunch of stuff that you don't like, and like killing millions of people in other countries and all that. So not to get too far into that, black hole. But this is a way that you can actually have financial freedom. So,
yeah. Hey, I have one more important comment before we move on. Just want to say, sometimes we'll talk about programs or things that we're doing, and people will take our casual discussion about it as like a reading of the terms and conditions. Let me just say, when you're ready to sign up, make sure you do your due diligence, figure everything out, make sure you know exactly what's going on, because right now we're just four guys talking about it, and we may not have every specific detail nailed down. So I just want to throw that out there, because I'll get with other things that we've done in the past, and we'll say, well, on the show you said this, you said it would rocket me to space, and it's like, I'll take some offhand comment or joke as being guaranteed because we mentioned something on air. Now, of course, substantially we've described what it is, but once it's launched, make sure you check it out, make sure it's right for you. But I think you're going to love it.
Yeah, so there you have it. And as far as the broader markets are concerned,
let's get into
as we were talking, we actually saw what might have been the rejection at 9,400. I'm not sure if that's happened yet. It might actually be just a minor retracement. We had a nice fat candle go from about 92.90 up to 93.70, which is real close to 9,400, and it actually rejected down. What I think happens with what I totally believe is manipulation is that they want to prop it up to a point, and then they let the bears kind of fight, and then they let the bears get tired because they pretty much have unlimited funds. Once the bears get tired enough, they can start pushing it past resistances. So on the longer chart, on the short chart, we may see it actually bounce right off of this. Frank, on your private message there, no, we can't. Sorry, I saw that. I had to address it.
Didn't mean to distract you, bro.
So basically, that might be the rejection. It might go down from here. There is this Ichimoku cloud right here, so we might actually see a bounce off of that, which is right around 91, 9,200. However, the next kind of heavier support is the one that Z called out, is the 8,800 down this way. So that might be where we end up seeing a real bounce if we reject. I think we're going to go up to 9,700, and the reason that I think that is, let's see here,
go up to there and then get rejected there.
What's that? Go
up to 97 and then get rejected.
Correct. The reason that I think that's going to happen is what we're looking at now is the Bitcoin, the long chart, right? It's the daily. Actually, no, take that back. That's the 4-hour chart. But this is what we're looking at here is all the way back to like November. So, if you take a look, we've gone kind of up, double topped, down, triple bottomed, up. This could be sort of a double top. I think we may actually bounce right off the top of this again, go towards down the bottom here. This trend line, as I kind of scrunch this up and make it tighter, this trend line goes all the way back before. So we're looking at a very long established trend line. And it does look like it's headed up right now towards that top, and it bounced down. And for what I did it was yesterday, when things were a little bit higher than they are right now, I told everybody, okay, I'm getting out. I'm actually getting out of the market. And there was coins going up here and there. We have BC in at 250%. Everybody sees these coins bouncing. And so basically they get excited. And one of the things that we try to entertain people with is that the strategy is not always to do something. Because people want to get in and do something. Why?
Yeah.
Because that's what they're conditioned. Like, you go to work, whatever your job is, and you got to go do stuff. And if you're not doing something, then like the boss yells at you. Well, trading's not like that. Okay, so what we're doing is we're looking for the ebb and flow of the market. And in this case, it just flowed quite a bit. It flowed from the mid-low 6,000s all the way up to 10,000. Now, the last time we had a flow like that, it went from like 5,800 all the way up to around 11,700. And then it ebbed all the way back down to 6,000. So now we have this big flow. We have some TA that actually is indicative of a potential ebb. Okay. So yes, if I take all my money off the market and the market goes up, there's a chance I could lose out. But this is the reality. In our room, with our trade calls, with Z's FA, actually a ton of money I made off of Z's information from Juan. I went heavy on Juan because Z's FA is bulletproof. It always is. Well, pretty much always. And so I can't think of a time where Z's FA is bad. Z, did you ever make a bad call on FA? I can't think of one.
I don't know.
He was huge. He was huge in BitConnect.
I was just massive in BitConnect. No. That's for Crypto Nick, not to be confused with Crypto Cowboy. But I mean, in my younger times,
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. If Z says buy a coin, I pretty much just buy it. That's all there is to it. Z spends so much time reading into the fundamental analysis, what's going to be big. And one of the things that Z kind of doesn't necessarily talk about, I don't know if he hides it, but I'm gonna out you right now. Z's incredibly well connected. If you guys think I'm connected, you have no idea. Z's amazingly connected in the space.
No, he really is.
I'm connected because Z's connected. Okay. So, and of course I know my own people, but I don't pretend to be as well connected. So the point is, Z's money and I made a few TA calls that went over 100% as well. I literally doubled my bag in Satoshi in the past 6 weeks. And that ended like about a week ago. And I quadrupled my bag in dollars because, of course, everything went up in the meantime. So as I said 2 days ago, when I saw Bitcoin approaching this top area where I feel like it may reject, I'm simply going to take profit. Okay. So one of the things that we've talked about in this show since the beginning of the show is the art of taking profit. Okay.
Yeah.
The art of taking profit. And I tend to take profit after I see a ton of green bars. Make it really simple for everybody. You see all those green bars right there? See a bunch of green bars all in a row? Okay, I took profit. I mean, to make it easy for everybody. Back in December, Crypto Z and I, we saw the signs, took some profit right here at the top of this wick when BTC was at 18.5. I didn't quite hit the top, but I set a sell order that hit just below 1840. And then when it actually went back up, Z and I both took a fair amount of profit right about here. Okay. So, and I think we even might've taken some right here on this hill right here. We didn't know it was going to go down as low as it did. We just understood that there were a ton of green bars and we're very disciplined and we took profit.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to say this. I just keep thinking, we want, if you're out there, we want you in the room with us. You need to be. Okay. Make your own decisions, be smart. But listen, if your spouse is saying you're afraid to tell your spouse about a $299.97 subscription you're starting, just promise them, go get yourself a Shift Payments card. All right. And say, listen, every month this week before the payment comes out, I'm going to go to the ATM 2 times because it has a ridiculously low withdrawal limit. And I'm going to use my crypto money to pay for the subscription because I got to do this. Just level with them. If you're afraid of your spouse, they won't let you do things. I'm sorry for you. We'll have it. Me and V will start a marriage counseling show.
Yeah.
Try to help you with that.
If
but
you're afraid of your spouse and you need to
let's just table that for a second. Because that's a major problem. Okay. But I know there are people out there who this is one of the reasons people want us to accept cryptos, which is that's a technological. We would love to accept cryptos for the subscription. It's a technological hurdle. It would cause us massive problems. Here's the thing. Don't just sit on your hands and wait because you have that issue. Get yourself a Shift payment card or even just a Coinbase account. You can back a little bit of Litecoin or BTC into your Coinbase account, into your PayPal. It's not going to cause reporting on you if you do a little bit of it. Don't worry about it. And just come up with a system that makes the other person happy. We'll deal with your problems later. just get involved. Stop waiting. I mean, I always joke, I barely use the room and it's our room, right? I spend more time answering emails about the room than I do using it. And it's still done massive things for me. It's just, putting it off and putting it off and putting it off is what's that doing for you? You can always cancel anytime, right? What's $299? I'm just sick of people missing out. I hate to see people miss out because they're worried about the commitment or whatever. There is no commitment. Try it for a month and see what it does for you. I think you'll be really pleased. And Cowboy, we're going to do that video for busy people, right? I know we were supposed to do it yesterday or something. I wasn't around.
No, that's correct.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. One of the things I get from people in the room if someone cancels, it's funny because whenever anybody does want to cancel a subscription, which is pretty rare actually, and they can do it on their own, but sometimes people just can't figure it out. They want to make sure it gets canceled, so they'll email me. And they almost always say, you know, those lovely boys is so wonderful, but I just don't have time to trade, right? And it breaks my heart every time because I benefit from the room with like literally maybe 15 minutes.
I mean, Frank and I literally have no time.
Yeah, it's
we
ridiculous.
Really don't.
And I've benefited massively from just spending a few minutes checking in. I mostly just protect my portfolio by checking in on the room. Occasionally, if something's interesting, I'll get involved, and that's just because I'm hyper busy right now. As things get back to normal, I'll trade a little bit more. But we're actually going to be working on a video in let's say by next week, probably sooner than that, where me and Cowboy are going to talk about our strategy for the person who has 15 minutes to trade a day. 15 minutes. And I hope that brings back some of you folks who left prematurely because you felt overwhelmed by all the info. You felt overwhelmed by what was going on. You really don't have to approach it that way. Yeah. Our guys, Cowboy and Z, give so much amazing information that some people just get a little overwhelmed. They don't, you know, they feel like they have to take every trade. They feel like they've always got to get in and get out and get it. You don't have to do it that way. You can get involved in a couple trades if you want your own research. We're not telling you what to do, not financial advice, for entertainment only. You can get involved in just a couple of them and wait them out. And there's a method of doing that where you don't have to sit in front of your computer all day like a maniac, waiting to push buttons. I never do that. I wish I could do that. I don't have time for that.
I think Cowboy's got a great story about this.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Cowboy.
No, it's okay, Frank. That's awesome. Well put. What happened to me in my like earlier trading days was I joined a signal room, and when I did, a bunch of my money was on Bittrex, and there were some things about, this is right around that time where we started to learn that the government was going to come into American-owned situations and possibly strong-arm them into giving information. And all of a sudden, like Bittrex, around that same time, I couldn't withdraw any money. I don't remember what the reason was. There was some kind of problem with the account, and so like, I just figured that money was gone. Like all my money on Bittrex, I'm like, forget about it. I'm not going to concentrate on this. And so, I had some trades that I had set up and then that were midterm trades. Okay. So midterm trades, and we'll go over this a little bit later, but midterm trades tend to take like maybe anywhere from a week and a half to like 6 or 7 weeks. It could be as long as that. Usually it's maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. To play out. Like my TRX trade, that was a midterm trade, but took about 2.5 weeks. It went up over 100%. Okay. So when I had kind of forgotten about those, I sort of like logged back in after a couple weeks and I had all this money in there. I was like, what the hell?
That's awesome.
Like, whoa, dude, I more than doubled my account. And the reason was because I got into the midterm trades and I let it go. Now, some of them got stopped out. Right. Some of my midterm trades, I had a stop loss. They got stopped out. That's great. I didn't lose money because they tanked. Or I even lost a little money because like one of them actually stopped out and then went up because I set my stop a little too high or just whatever. Things happen. But overall, I made a ton of money because I just put it in there. It took about maybe like 5 minutes. I got in, saw the trade, set it up, set the sell orders, and then I walked away. It took like 5 minutes. Now,
see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's awesome. And you can do that without your story of forgetting about it. It's amazing.
What's important and what the takeaway is that people always feel like they got to do something. It's not how trading works. It's not how it works. Trading works in, I think this is going to happen. This is why. And I'm going to check up maybe a couple of times a day to make sure that all of those setup factors are the same, right? So basically, now if you don't have time to check up once or twice a day, stop losses are there. That'll stop people out too. A lot of times during bull markets, I don't even use a stop loss. But literally, once you understand like the system, once you understand how to do an order on Binance, and of course, Frank and I and Z and I, we've made videos on how to do all this stuff. We have a whole video library of how to do an order on Binance, how to set a stop loss, all the basics. So once you get that down, literally you can log on, you can look at whatever calls we have going on the last day or two. You can get into those calls, set up everything, and you can walk away. So this idea of not having time to trade, yeah, maybe our short-term swing trades for those of us who are, crypto junkies with a gallon of Mountain Dew intravenously by the computer, like that's not for you. But we have mostly midterm trades is most of what we got. You get in, set and forget.
Awesome.
So that's what I had to say about that.
Yeah, there's no need to get overwhelmed. And I can understand why people would get overwhelmed. And I had to learn these lessons myself. And so I think it's helpful that I too had to get in the room and learn, because I can give people some insight on how to approach it. And it's one of these things, like you said, you can set it up and watch it go. It's not this thing where you have to sit at your computer and ride your computer all day. I mean, no one wants to do that.
Well, everyone has
a lot of people would like to do that.
Yeah, everybody's got this image of this guy with multiple screens sitting in his mother's basement day trading all day. That's not what you got to do.
Well, and it's funny you say that, V, because one of the things we had to clarify early on, some people thought because we called the room Watch Us Trade, some people thought they were literally going to like watch you guys in your underwear in front of your computers trading all day because and I understand where they're coming from. Like, I've watched some traders on YouTube like that where they'll show a few minutes of their day and it's like bam, bam, bam. It's very exciting. But that's not what we're doing. We would have to edit that over, massive amounts of video. That's not what we're talking about. And
I don't want anybody to see me wearing my Lucky Naruto hoodie. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather
You're what? You're lucky what?
Naruto hoodie. Like, it's an anime thing, like a little character that. Yeah, no one needs to see that. Right? You don't want to see that.
Indeed.
Trust me.
Z, what do you got to see?
Now, I have to admit, I am curious now. maybe you could send just a snapshot. No,
oh, Z.
Please don't.
I'm reading, guys.
Even now, Z's the only guy that I can contact him at like 3 a.m. Z, what are you doing? I'm reading a white paper. I'm like, wow,
reading, guys. Just for some of those people who are in this room already, you guys have heard. We've got a very exclusive offer. I'm not going to say it out here. We've got a very exclusive offer currently happening. That's going to be closing up right here, just for the Watch Us Trade room. So this is only going to be available for Rogue Money's Watch Us Trade room, and so yeah. If you guys want to be part of it, it's an unbelievable deal, guys. You guys will not be
special.
You guys will not be able to get anything like this outside, guys. I can tell you that right now. In all of my crypto experience, it just doesn't happen. I'm just extending it out to people. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just making.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that before. There's more that goes on in the room than just trade calls.
Am I a conservative individual?
Yeah, you're pretty conservative. Yeah,
when I say conservative, I'm a libertarian. I'm talking about with my bets, with my trades. I'm pretty conservative, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sinking like what, 40 grand into this deal you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just coming from the guy who really is hard to sell. I'm all over this thing.
Wow, Z, I want to increase my my part now that
it's too late already. I'm just checking, guys. You guys have about I'll estimate you guys have about a week before I close it. So I'll be getting a form out to everybody and getting some good information out so people can kind of see where they stand and yeah, it's gonna be good, guys. This is a sort of a special opportunity that you won't get anywhere else.
Well, let me offer perspective. If this opportunity was offered on the wider crypto space, it would be filled in about 8 seconds. I'm telling you that. And the only way to get in, which is also the only way to take advantage of the platform we're building, it's all Rogue Money family people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Rogue Money family.
Have I told you lately that I love you, Z? Mm-hmm. Have I told you? See, picture Rod Stewart. Remember Rod Stewart sang that years ago and he cried? That was before your time, Z.
I don't even know who Rod Stewart is.
He sang it on MTV Unplugged. He sang it on Unplugged and then wept at the end. That's how I feel about you right now, Z.
I just don't even know who Rob Stewart is. He named all these guys.
Stewart. Rob Stewart.
Just picture a really gnarly old British guy.
No. Z is sub 30, but he's almost 30. Like what? What are you, 29, 28? Something like that?
Really, the only old person I listen to, and I call this old person, is Celine Dion. I can appreciate some Celine Dion just because she's Canadian.
MC Hammer.
I don't even know who MC Hammer is. Is it MC Mallet?
I just told Chris of a band I went to see, and he goes, "Oh, cool. Who's that?"
He goes to some death metal Christian band. Could you believe?
I don't want to talk about it.
Frank, I can tell you right now.
In a death metal.
Frank, I can tell you right now, I will not know what you're talking about.
Actually, I wouldn't know at that point.
You'd recognize it. I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Oh, will I? Will I recognize it?
Oh, you will. Yeah. 80s band.
You know, just older music and older movies, guys. And it's just not my. I just don't know it.
Oh, that's
the thing. See, you have to understand the thing that's weird for us is not that you don't know it. It's that our stuff to you is older movies and older music. It's just weird.
Hey, trust me,
we're an adult that you work with. An adult that you work with that you respect, who you consider like part of your age group, is not at all in your age group. It weirds you out. It just weirds you out.
I feel the generation gap. When I go back to Florida, a lot of times, back when I used to teach a lot, I go back and see my students, and there's some things that they talk about that I'm just like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, they talk about like Pogs and NSYNC. Oh wait, no, that's your generation.
Pogs actually isn't even my generation. Pogs is actually like a little bit old for me.
What's Pogs? What is that?
I don't know.
Pogs are these like little like what are they? Circular like cardboard like collectibles people got, and they like played this game where they like slammed them.
Yeah, it's like
you lost me.
It's like marbles.
Yeah, it's like a cooler version of old marbles.
I love you, man. You're so innocent.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. I'm just letting you guys know. Pogs is just cooler marbles.
Very cool.
Well, I brought up the Slack channel so people can get a sort of a preview of what it looks like, and you can see me in here. Z and I are in here all hours. My first post I think in the other room was like at 5:30 in the morning or something. We got us here last night. Even when there's like nothing going on in the market, we're here. You can ask anybody. I was in there all day yesterday because Z's actually working on some back end stuff. So Z wasn't in as much because we need him. We need him elsewhere. So I was in there from like, I don't know, 6 in the morning to 10 at night, and it's just watching Bitcoin, calling it out. Again, a lot of people got out of everything last night. I want to say it was somewhere around like the 9,600 range in Bitcoin. And it went all the way down to 8,900. So, we're in there killing it. That's all there is to it. And, Z's usually in there really all hours, although oftentimes he's, doing all kinds of cool stuff. Like, I don't know. What are you doing there at 1 a.m? Z, you talking to Europeans or something like that?
Yeah, so we got some Europeans at the group and stuff. What's it called? So I'm inside there talking, with them. There's also some like late nighters, like Dan is always inside there. He's always late night. And then on top of it, a lot of times, a lot of my connections are European and stuff like that. So I'm in there talking just general crypto with everybody.
So there you go. We're in there all the time. We like what we do. I mean, how many people in this world can say, oh yeah, I love my job? No, actually, I say it oftentimes in the room, like, guys, I love my job. I said it yesterday. So, that's a preview to the Slack. And also, I'm going to switch back here with my screen. It's going to take me a second, but I want to bring up the actual website. It's www.thecryptoschool.io. And Frank and V, maybe you can kind of elaborate on what's going on over there.
I love what's going on over there. So right on your screen, that's where you end up when you go to thecryptoschool.io. Goes to RemainCom School. Don't get freaked out by that. And we have 3 different products, all of which are beneficial to you. We have the video education series known as just The Crypto School. So that's the video series. That's a one-time payment. You can see right there. That's $297. And what you'll find there are, in fact, Cowboy, are you logged into this? Well, it doesn't matter if you are. Can you go to, can you scroll up a little bit? Actually, just click on the tile, Crypto School, please. And here's something cool. So this is the page where you would join the Crypto School video series. And after you join and log in, this page, if you just scroll down a little bit there, Cowboy, this page is actually what's on the school. And you will be able to, if you're logged into the site, click on any of those links and view that educational content. So if you're thinking, well, I'd like to trade, but like I don't even know how to send anything off of my Coinbase or something like that, this is a really good place for you to start and then jump into the room later. So that page where you join is actually the same page where all of the content is listed and organized. So we have our core curriculum videos, which are things like how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, how to send, receive, and hold cryptos. We talk about things like my Ether wallet and the Exodus wallet and what an ERC20 token is and where you can store them. We have a thing on Ether Delta, which we got to update to Fork Delta, even though they're pretty much the same and neither one works. But we have something on Bittrex there. One of these days I'll add something on Binance. Binance is so easy. It's like we do actually. Cowboy and I have done some. We've done some Binance videos, so that's why I don't feel so urgent about it. We have our Trading Basics series, and anyway, just a lot of great stuff. So that's the one-time payment, and then if you go back to where we were, that's the video series, and you're not gonna. That's not what we've been talking about most of this show, and what we usually talk about. Can you go back to the homepage?
Ooh, Bitcoin tumbling just a little bit.
Oh, he's reading charts. That's why he's slow on the clicks.
Yeah.
So the middle thing there is the Watch Us Trade Room. That's where you basically are joining a Slack chat where you can watch. You can get the updates on what Cowboy and Z are doing day to day. And we have what he showed you a few minutes ago. That's the room. That's Watch Us Trade, where you see all the text printed there. That's where they have news and info as well as chat. And one of the things my friend said to me this morning when I was training, what I mentioned earlier, he said they are so incredibly generous. He said, he was like, I can't believe how much time they take with everybody. I was like, I know, they're amazing. So that's Watch Us Trade, and that's $299.97 a month, and worth every penny. And then we have something that is cool and you should take advantage of, especially if you're a beginner, and that's the Crypto Community Slack. And that's only $4.99 a month. First month is free. And that's basically a crypto support group. A lot of people just hang out there and chat. But that's a great room to be in, especially if you're a beginner. But it's really cool for everybody because people help each other out. So that's $4.99 a month. First month's free on the Crypto Community Slack. There is some trade calls in there as well, sort of just as a free little nuggets for you. So that's a cool thing to join. But yeah, Watch Us Trade. That middle one is where you're going to find Cowboy and Z, and it's currently $299.97 a month, worth every penny. Don't hesitate. You need to be with us. It's going to be awesome. You won't regret it.
Mm-hmm. And finally, guys, BTC right now is actually at a very critical point. I just want to reiterate that if I'm not sharing my chart right now, but once Cowboy, he's going to be right back. But BTC right now on the 4-hour, for those of you who have your charts open right now, is treading along the top of the Kumo cloud.
So want me to take a look at that on the screen, Z?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What are we looking at, bud? I'm sorry, which
Bitcoin. So I'm looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour right now. It's treading along the top of the Kumo cloud right now. This is very, very critical because this is where it starts getting a little bit muddy. Because right now what we're seeing is that we are seeing various indicators showing different things. For example, the RSIs right now are showing bullish movement. You're getting the stock RSI showing, a very nice bull movement upwards. And the regular RSI is now treading, I think, above, it's at like 47% right now, but it's treading upwards. So it's actually showing some bull movement. But what we are seeing from the Ichimoku indicator is that you see a point of exit on the 4-hour, as well as it is now treading inside of the cloud to the top side of the cloud. If Bitcoin cannot rally right now, and if Bitcoin decides to, continue dropping down, the cloud gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And what that's going to happen is that when it breaks below that cloud on the 4-hour, it is going to signal a bear turn. And this is very, very prevalent right now. And I want to make sure everybody is seeing this because this will be the first time that Bitcoin has dropped out of the cloud on the 4-hour point since essentially April 11th, when Bitcoin was 6,900. This is, something to be wary about, because if it does, like I said, if it does fall the cloud, it will essentially be bearish, and that won't be a good thing.
Well, yeah, and to back that up, I'm taking, I constantly watch the GDAX exchange, which is where Bitcoin is traded for fiat. I think Bitfinex actually has more volume, but I like GDAX because that's Coinbase and they share the same back end. And right now you have, what I have been seeing are these big prop ups, and I call them prop ups because like all of a sudden you got a bunch of market takers that are buying all these sell orders. And then you have these market makers that are putting in buy walls. And what that means is that they're setting up these buy orders that will kind of block the price from going down. And in the meantime, they're just all of the sell orders, they're just picking them up. And for people who understand those kinds of terms, it looks like it's being done on purpose. Like they're literally building floors. And on the actual chart that I'm looking at that Z had me pull up, and I kind of highlighted some of the things he was talking about. The circle is the Ichimoku exit that Z was talking about, where this blue line kind of crosses this red line. Okay, so this is the Tenkan-sen that's going down. This is the Kijun-sen, is the red line that's coming across. These are basically the two different averages, the shorter term average being the blue. And then this cloud, if you look at it, these two blue lines that I drew, is the cloud is actually shrinking. Okay, so when price is above, this is a little bit of an Ichimoku like tutorial a little bit. It's not really going into everything, but when the cloud is green and price is above the cloud, you're in a bull market for that period of time. That hasn't been that way for a very long time. So I'm not saying that Bitcoin's in a bull market. I'm just saying for this time frame, it's bullish. Okay. Now it went into the cloud. The cloud can act as a support. So you can see it kind of bounced out of the cloud. And when that happened, it's still in the Kumo cloud. I think Dex calls it the Kumo cloud of death. And so essentially when you're stuck in there, and if it goes down and if it drops out of the cloud, that is a major, major negative downward reversal. And that's what this arrow indicates, is how that could go. And this right here, this cloud is getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Eventually, if this cloud gets like super thin, then what you're going to see is this, which I've actually portrayed on. I'm just going to show you a different chart here. But right where the green cloud becomes the red cloud, okay, right where my mouse is in the middle of the screen, you're seeing the green cloud kind of shrink down, and it flips into a red cloud. It's called a bear flip. So Ichimoku becomes bearish. And you can see right after price dove through the cloud right here, right after there was basically an exit that, like Z talked about, this exit was back here. So price was above the cloud in December, late December, and then January, and then it entered the cloud. Right about the same time, there was an Ichimoku called a bear cross, where the blue crossed the red, and then it kind of played around in the cloud, and then it dumped below the cloud, and then everybody freaked out, and Jamie Dimon started spitting his BS, and here we are at the very low. So we're kind of seeing that on the 4 hour right now. What we're looking at now is not that chart, but what we're seeing on the earlier 4 hour chart is like a smaller version of that right here. So we could see some bearishness. Again, my call is down to the low sevens, and then I think it'll start bouncing back up. So that's based on Z's TA right there.
Very awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I see, guys. So right now, Bitcoin is in a very critical point right now, guys. We will be keeping everybody updated inside of the Watchers Trade Room. I'll be on all day today. And finally, what's it called? I know that the description, the room link is off, guys. It's actually thecryptoschool.io, so crypto has a Y inside of it. Sorry about that. We just wanted to make sure that we got the show out for you guys.
Yeah, most
It'll
people
be fixed by the
fixed. I apologize. That's my bad.
It's hard to type with those giant
Reposchool.io. Don't go to the repo school.
Yeah, don't go to
Joe Biden is there.
yeah, exactly.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, offering candy.
Uncle Joe. He's over there touching little. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that. But I can copy and paste it to enter the Y. Come on.
Yeah,
but Arnold being okay. Go ahead, Z. Sorry.
No. I mean, I was just gonna say, yeah. So be ready for those updates, guys. We will be tracking this thing live.
you know, I do, when Bitcoin really starts to fall, it makes a particular sound. It actually has a sound, and it sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall when he's pulling that thing out of his nose. You know what I'm talking about? You guys have seen that? Where like the giant thing, like, you know, oh no, Z hasn't seen that, but
what does it sound like?
It sounds like it goes.
That's great.
And then it flies into the cloud and it hits the ground. And then, you know, but when it gets to the top, when it gets to the top of the cloud and it's daring the people to sell it, it's just daring them. Like, it's like, it really is like, come on, kill me. I'm here. Come on, kill me. What are you waiting for?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is the kind of show when there's like not that much going on in the market. we throw out chicken bones and Arnold. Like, seriously, guys, we make a lot of money here. We're not just jokesters, believe it or not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good point though. You know, you keep ringing this bell, and I think it's really important that you know, trying to trade something every day is not the way to be a good trader. It's all about timing and patience.
Yeah, it's consistency, timing, patience, guys. You know, obviously, you know, we're not here hodling. We're not saying the hodl, but at the same time,
wait, so you're not coming out either. You're not going to wait until Bitcoin's above 11,700.
No. I'm not going to wait, guys. I'm just not going to wait. No time for that, you know.
Yeah, no. Billy Bob's going to have to hang out in his little shack for who knows how long till it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time, guys. You know, 11,000 might not come for a little bit of time. So why wait? Why wait? There's plenty of money to be made, guys. There's plenty of money to be made in this market.
Absolutely.
You know the best part about it? It's free money. It's do this right. You watch the trades. You got money raining down.
There's a pro tip. Because there are a lot of people out there that are concerned with, like, what do I do if Bitcoin goes down? What do I do if it goes up? I don't want to miss the run, you know, things like that. And there is a little bit of a trick that can be done if you're, you know, if you use fiat or if you're comfortable with USDT. I officially am not, but that is what it is. What people do is they put half their money in Bitcoin and half their money in fiat or USDT. That way, they sort of counteract each other. That's one way to actually preserve portfolio with a relatively low risk, right? Of course, I just took profit and put it all into fiat, so that's how I roll. But you know, but that's just a trick people can use.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Oh, that's it, man. You know,
we will
stand by, guys.
It's
really exciting. I just want everybody to understand. Very, very exciting stuff coming up this next week, guys. This is going to be a very, very big, monumental week for Rogue Money. So, you know, just be a part of it, guys. Be a part of it.
And we will be launching some new sites to go along with this, along with the platform and everything else. A complete rollout. It's going to be sick, man. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh yeah, and
so much fun, changing lives, changing the world, and we're doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm the quiet one. I'm the quiet one, guys. You know, I'm the quiet one.
That's why I call you the silent storm.
I know Z's even excited. I'm the calm one, but I talk a lot. Z's the quiet one, but Z's not freaking out. He's remaining calm. But let me tell you guys, the thing that is being put together that Z was talking about earlier that we can't, you know, we don't want to. People in the room like pay to be entertained by this information, so we can't just let it out on the air. But all I can tell you is what Z has put together. This program that he's got going on is sick, and all you got to do is come check it out. We got so many people in here who are in cryptos who are paying for their entire month in like a matter of days. That's what they're doing. And so, what does it hurt just to come check it out? Check it out for a month.
And remember, guys, this is something it's not like this is part of Watch Us Trade. You know, this is just something that is an added bonus. That's part of it. You know, this is completely something that if you're in there, I'm giving you guys for free. Simple as that.
Let me tell you guys, I cannot tell you enough how big this is. I'd say if there was ever a month where you just wanted to come check it out, just so you could take advantage of what Z's doing, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Got about a week, guys. You got about a week. That is as much as I can really promise. You got about a week.
So that's it. That's all we got. That's all I got. I don't know.
That's it. So with that, again, guys, you want to make some money. Stop pretending with these pretenders, that are out there thinking that they could trade. Guys who are out there utilizing, they're not gonna trade until Bitcoin is 11,700, and then when it's 11,700, he's gonna say Bitcoin. I'm not gonna give trade calls until Bitcoin gets to 13,000. In other words, this guy's just again running and hiding because he's a scared little bitch. But it is what it is. We're not utilizing any of that. It's stop wasting your time with BS. You got the win here is when you're with a professional team that wins by technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Data leads the way, and what is measured is always managed. And that's what is the winning combination right here on the Watch Us Trade Room. An opportunity. Like I said, this is no BS. We're going to post those results of those individuals. We're going to get those testimonies up soon as well. People have quit their jobs.
Yeah.
They're quit their job. This is not like...
Just check out the trade results, guys.
Exactly. Saying like, hey, join our network marketing thing, and if you sell, 50,000 soaps, overpriced dishwashing detergent, and you get and you convince everybody else and your friends and family to hate you and buy it, then you too could maybe make a few bucks a month. No, this is life-changing. You're taking charge. You're putting the responsibility and your life's destiny in your hands, and you're going forward to change your life. Look, folks, I've said this from Jump Street. Those who've been following me since like when I first debuted back with Doug Hagman and Steve Quayle, and then to Coast AM and the whole mess of other shows that I've been on. Back in those days, I've always said back then, hey, gold and silver are the only exploits the average American has. This is before cryptocurrencies are where they are today. And folks, cryptocurrencies, the way we are right now, especially with the trade rooms, you want to talk about leverage, you want to talk about what you can do to really benefit your life, your family's life. It's not rocket science. You don't need to be a PhD. Just show up in the room and watch these two guys trade. That's it. And we're not asking you to sit in front of a computer for 16 hours a day. Check in in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Look at what the trade calls are. Get yourself positioned. Do those calls, and you're making money. That's it. You're being entertained. That's it. It's that simple. We've made it easy. And maybe perhaps some of you are listening to this and you're saying to yourself, you know what? I'm not comfortable with cryptos. I don't know much about it. Well, we got you covered there too. We have a lifetime membership for $297, lifetime membership to the Crypto School. There's over 20 videos. Not like this. There's some crypto classics and all this other crap that are out there. We're giving you one little corny, rinky-dinky video because they're a bunch of lazy bums and con men. No, we're not doing that. We have over 20 videos and a bunch of the curriculum on the Crypto School. Go there, you get yourself a real crypto education. Get yourself comfortable with wallets and exchanges and all the terminology. Get yourself built up, and we're always adding to that. Okay, it's a lifetime membership, and then when you're ready, you're built up. You feel some confidence. You're ready to step out of the boat and walk on water. Hey, watch us trade with Z and Cowboy. It's that simple, folks. I don't know what else I can say. With that being said, we are over and out, and I would like to say, take it away, Corky Buchek.
I do love it.
Full lyrics list over at bingbarangtanting.com.